If you've struggled with house payments, you're far from alone. A Five on Your Side investigation tonight uncovers rising complaints about a local company offering to help. Chief Investigator Reagan joins us tonight with an investigation that's already getting action from the Ohio Attorney General.
Well, it is indeed, and more on that in a minute. But first, our investigation found that 1 in every 56 homes in Ohio is now in foreclosure. 89,000, and that number is rising. So are complaints about companies offering help, including one that didn't want to talk to us.
Sold for $16,000.
There's been 9,000 new foreclosures across Ohio in just the month of March, and many struggling homeowners are seeking companies offering mortgage relief, often called loan modifications. But some consumers we spoke with have grown disappointed in a process they claim was supposed to be quick.
Cut in half in about 45 to 60 days.
Between 60 and 90 days.
And quickly?
And yeah, quickly.
Each signed a contract with a company called the Modification Group, TMG. A contract they say would refund 80% of a $2,000 upfront fee if the loan was not approved. Bob Miller hoped what TMG was doing for him in this Broadview Heights office could save his home.
He says, oh yeah, you're a candidate for this government loan. And
You're a candidate?
A candidate, yeah. And we wouldn't have no problem getting it.
No problem.
No problem.
But 14 months later, the Millers had no loan modification. And then, more bad news.
So then, at the end of April, I came home and there was a foreclosure notice on our door. So I said, oh, I called Bob at work. I said, okay, you got a foreclosure notice. Now what?
Requests for a refund were denied. And the Millers aren't alone. We reviewed a computer database of 71 complaints filed against TMG with Ohio's Attorney General. Lynn Franks is a single working mom. To save her home, she withdrew money from her own retirement account.
They had told me that I would be a perfect candidate because I had been recently divorced, you know, single mom, my income had been cut, trying to make it on my own.
She paid nearly $2,000 up front. Then, 9 months later, she didn't get a loan or a refund.
Did you ever get any money back from these people?
No.
Not a penny?
Not a penny.
3 homeowners took TMG to small claims court after the company refused to refund their money and won. In one case, a judge ruled against TMG, saying they essentially accomplished nothing, nor does it appear they exerted any effort to try to do so. And last December, Tracy Lee won her case. After waiting 7 months, she called TMG for an update and was surprised to learn her case was closed.
They kept, leading me on, telling me, oh, don't worry about it, we got your back and we're speaking on your behalf, and my house is in foreclosure.
Tracy says she spoke several times to this man, Gregory Lewis, about her loan. Can you identify this man?
Him. That's him. That's definitely him.
That's Greg Lewis?
That's Greg Lewis.
But we found Lewis has a criminal background. Is that a surprise?
Yes, it is. Yeah, a huge surprise.
Cuyahoga County's Mortgage Fraud Task Force prosecuted Lewis and 6 others in 2009 for obtaining $3 million worth of fraudulent loans. Lewis was sentenced to 5 years probation. He declined an on-camera interview, but told us by phone he was self-employed. He did not personally work for TMG and never collected any money. But Lewis says that despite TMG on his door, he insists his company is TMG 6, a separate business, unrelated to TMG and the complaints we've told you about. But he also admits he had several conversations with Tracy Lee, solely to refer her to TMG's Broadview Heights office. So we tried to talk with TMG's president, Robert Walker, on his cell.
Mr. Walker, this is Ron Reagan with Channel 5. It's very important that we speak to you.
By email and his office.
We'd like to speak with him.
Okay, thank you.
It's very important.
We even tried his home.
Mr. Walker, we have some questions about your company.
Walker never contacted us. Oliver Allison complained to the Attorney General too. His house is in foreclosure after paying TMG $2,000 and waiting months for nothing.
You can't do people like this. You just can't do people like this.
In fact, TMG has so many complaints The Better Business Bureau told us
they have an F rating primarily due to the customer complaint experience in our files and the fact that the volume tied with the fact that we're not getting answers is dragging their rating down to an F.
And there's already being action taken tonight. Just hours before our investigation aired, the Ohio Attorney General's office filed this lawsuit. It charges the modification group with unfair and deceptive practices and seeks full refunds for consumers we spoke with, as well as what could be hundreds more. And I'm going to have a lot more on this story tomorrow night at 6 o'clock from Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine.
Ron, I'm sure your story is touching a lot of our viewers tonight. I'm sure they want to know what is going to happen next.
The next step in this process, today's lawsuit involves violations of Ohio consumer law, but if there is evidence of criminal activity, the case could be turned over to the county prosecutor's office.
Well, they need to be shut down. Hopefully that'll happen.
It's an important story.
Yes, it is. All right, we'll be watching your story tomorrow. Thank you. Good work.